The moment I spotted Lisa's muddy hiking boots dangling over my garden wall, I knew trouble had burrowed its way into my quiet corner of Willow Creek, Oregon. It was July 10th, 2024, and there she was, half submerged like some rogue gopher in leggings, tunneling under my property to cut a minute off her daily jog. The audacity hit me like a slap after months of battling her and her cronies in the Willow Creek Homeowners Association over petty complaints. From my mailbox's shade of blue to my unapproved rose bushes, this was a new low. The grinding screech of her cheap shovel against gravel, mixed with her muttering about overpriced land and why should I hike around like a nobody, echoed through the morning mist. I stood there, coffee mug in hand, eyebrow arched, as her dirt-streaked face popped up in my backyard, a faded green cap perched defiantly atop her frizzy hair. "Morning, Lisa," I said, voice calm but dripping with sarcasm. "Lose something down there?" She froze, caught mid-crawl, eyes narrowing. "It's just a shortcut, Dan," she snapped, as if that excused everything. "I'm late for Pilates, and this is practically public land. Your wall's new, isn't it?" Her tone grew louder, like volume could rewrite property deeds. I sipped my coffee, glancing at the stone wall I'd built last spring after she tried to claim my garden for a community herb patch. "No, Lisa," I replied coolly. The surveyor settled that. "You're on my land, now literally." Her jaw tightened, but she pressed on, babbling about HOA loopholes and tunnels not being explicitly banned. I cut her off with a smile. "Crawl back before you track mud on my deck." She glared, muttered about lawsuits, and vanished in her makeshift burrow. This wasn't just a stunt, it was war. Lisa's tunnel, reinforced with scrap wood and stakes, was no spur-of-the-moment dig. Tire marks from her golf cart snaked to the entrance, proof she'd planned a full-on bypass. My wall was battered, planks pried loose. I snapped photos, knowing evidence was my best weapon. Lisa didn't stop. She treated the tunnel like a public highway, popping up at all hours, sometimes with her yapping terrier, once even live-streaming her commute for her HOA clique. She planted a sign-shared pathway by my shed, as if I'd invited her. The HOA sent a vague letter about community dialogue, but talking to Lisa was like reasoning with a hurricane. I called my buddy Jake, who runs a concrete business in town. "You want to fill a tunnel?" He laughed. "Whose?" "Lisa's," I said. That was enough. Saturday. No charge for neighborly justice. I set up trail cams, reinforced the wall, and double-checked my property survey. Saturday morning, Jake's cement truck rumbled in. As we aimed to shoot at the tunnel's mouth, Lisa's golf cart screeched to a halt. She stormed over, dirt-caked and furious, demanding answers. "Just yard maintenance," I said, hand on the lever. "Feel free to film this too." Her face twisted as I let the cement flow, thick and final, sealing her shortcut forever. Neighbors peeked from windows. Old Mr. Callahan watched through binoculars, narrating like it was a sports final. The gray tide hardened, and I felt a surge of triumph. This was my line in the sand. But Lisa wasn't done. 3 days later, she showed up at my door in a mud-stained blazer, flanked by HOA board members Mrs. Rivera and Tim, the pool rule fanatic. She barged in, spreading papers like a TV lawyer. "You destroyed a community pathway," she declared, citing non-existent bylaws about historic access. I laid out my evidence, photos, videos, surveys, watching her confidence crack. "Mrs. Rivera looked worried. Tim fidgeted. "This is my property," I said. "Your tunnel's trespassing. And Lisa, city inspectors won't like your DIY construction." She pivoted, claiming the tunnel was a mobility aid for her uneven sidewalk woes. I suggested city grants for real accessibility, but she just snapped photos, muttering about lawsuits. The saga escalated. Lisa filed a civil suit, alleging emotional distress and sabotage of a medical device. My lawyer, Sarah, nearly choked laughing. "This won't hold up," she said, "but it'll be a headache." At the courthouse, Lisa's lawyer spun a tale of community arteries severed by my cement. Sarah countered with my evidence, including a clip of Lisa's midnight rant about tyranny. The judge, barely hiding a smirk, dismissed the case, warning Lisa to stay off my land or face charges. Neighbors cheered as she stormed out. Yet Lisa persisted. Days later, she was back, snapping photos for an HOA survey. The board, fed up, voted her out as an emergency land use chair, a title she'd made up. Her final gambit, a shoddy garden ramp built feet from my wall, collapsed in a storm, spilling debris into my yard. The city shut it down for code violations. Neighbors rallied, signing my petition for stricter project oversight. Lisa's flyers and complaints fizzled. Her real HOA flopped. Peace settled over Willow Creek. My grass grew back, kids drew chalk art, and Lisa's dog barked less. One evening, as I sipped iced tea on my porch, Lisa passed by, glaring. I raised my glass, a silent toast to victory. But what do you think? Was I too harsh sealing Lisa's tunnel? Or was it the only way to stop her? Should neighbors bend over for community access? Or is a property line sacred? Drop your thoughts below, comment, like, and subscribe for more wild tales.